Hey, what's up guys? This is Two Awesome Men.
And this is our review over La La Land.
This film was directed by Damien Chazelle and it came out about 2 years after his critically acclaimed movie Whiplash.
Honestly, we both have very differing opinions on this movie.
I truly love this movie. I almost found nothing wrong with it, in fact.
La La Land stars Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling as the two main characters, and Ryan Gosling plays this jazz pianist, and he falls for Emma Stone, who is a aspiring actress. It's actually funny because I was reading that initially Emma Watson was supposed to play the part that Emma Stone played in this movie, but she turned it down to play in the Beauty and the Beast movie that's coming out next year. And Ryan Gosling was supposed to play the Beast in the Beauty and the Beast movie, but he turned it down to be in this movie.
This movie, it really makes you think because you don't usually get to see the other side of the camera, the other side of the screen, or just the other side of all this, because in movies it's all like great and happy, but what you get to see in this movie is you get to see an aspiring actress who really is just pretty much down on her luck when it comes to these auditions. And you get to see this jazz artist, pretty much, that is really great jazz pianist.
You like jazz?
Who doesn't really care for the fame. He doesn't really care to have the fame, but he does have a dream, and he's just as passionate about that dream as Emma Stone's character.
And this movie is actually a musical, so there's a whole bunch of musical numbers throughout the movie. And this leads to one of my first big points I want to bring out that I didn't like about it. I understand musicals, the characters randomly break into song and everything. I just feel like this movie, some of the songs that were sung just didn't fit with the feel of the rest of the movie. And honestly, like, during the middle of the movie, the middle about to the end, they sort of forgot that it was a musical because they didn't have like any songs in that time frame. And I honestly felt that that little section was probably my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm actually not the biggest fan of musicals, but even though there was times when the songs felt slightly out of place, it's hard for me to grade it off of that because I usually feel that way about musicals, and so I didn't want to grade it off that fact. But I felt like it didn't really take that much away from the movie, and even then I really did love the songs, and I felt like they made sense to the movie. And the one thing I do love about this movie is that there is a lot of talking and not a whole bunch of songs, but like he said though, there is a big chunk of it that randomly has no songs in it at all.
And their singing that they had, I was actually surprised by Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling because they actually sang pretty good. I'm sure they like recorded in a studio first, but they still sound pretty good.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable to hear all of it too, because some of the ways that they would move their voices around in the songs, which I know that's a big thing when it comes to musicals, so you know it's not like surprising, but some of the ways they were moving their voice around to go for different emotions, I really did love the way that was portrayed. One of my favorite things about this movie is the way it was filmed. There were some shots in this movie that I just felt in awe, because I just love the way that it was filmed. I felt like it was just this neat type of artistic feel to a lot of the shots.
And on the flip side of that, I personally felt that they try to make it really was, you could feel what they try to go for. I just felt like some of the shots, they try to be artistic with it, but it didn't really fit for me, at least.
Now, pretty much the only problem that I have with this movie, like I know I kind of agree with them a little bit a while ago, but it really wasn't a problem to me. But the only problem I had with this entire movie was John Legend. John Legend was in this movie, and I felt like his acting was not up to par with everybody else, and really I don't even think his acting was even that good. And I felt like every scene that he was in, especially this one scene, his first scene in the actual movie with talking to Ryan Gosling, I felt like that scene, the conversation between him and Ryan Gosling was very quickly paced, a little too quick. And a lot of his scenes I just didn't like. Thankfully, he's actually not a big part of this movie, so it didn't really take that much away from it. Now guys, we're not going to spoil anything. Okay, I just want to bring up one thing, and that is I love the ending of it. I just love the ending so much. I truly felt like it was one of the better endings that I've seen in these types of movies, these romantic movies.
Even though I didn't have a very positive opinion about this movie, I did like the ending too.
And I really do think this movie does deserve a lot of praise for the way they went for this ending, for the way they went for the entire movie, because this entire movie went nowhere near the direction that I thought it was going to go in. I don't know if they had anything about the movie in the trailers, because I never actually watched the trailers for this movie. I barely even knew what this movie was actually about before I watched it today. And I really did enjoy this movie. So, obviously, as y'all can tell by now, that I just love this movie so much. I didn't really have much wrong with it except for John Legend. So I'm going to go ahead and give La La Land an A.
Like I said earlier, some of the songs just didn't fit right with me, and I feel like they try to be a little too artistic sometimes. But if you like Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone and you want to see them sing, and it's actually a good storyline too, then I would recommend going to see it. But I'd give La La Land a C+.
So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We truly appreciate it.
And don't forget to follow our social media. We have a Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all 2 Awesome Men with the number 2.
And while you're here, you might as well subscribe and comment below. Let us know how you like this movie. If you enjoyed it, which one of us you agree with, because this is probably our biggest difference in grade so far. And let us know how we did in this review, and we'd be really happy to read all those. So guys, again, thank you so much, and you will see us later.